who's up first.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. No problem.
Tracy, everyone.
Good morning. Île-du-Prince Édouard Island is located in Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. The Mi'kmaq have occupied this island for over 12,000 years. We honor the treaties of peace and friendship across Mi'kmaq. My name is Tracy Beaulieu, and I'm the director at the Public Schools Branch, and I have the honor and privilege to welcome each of you to Mount Stewart Consolidated School, one of our 56 amazing schools in the Public Schools Branch. Prime Minister Trudeau, Premier King, Chief Gould, Minister Sudds, Minister MacAulay, Minister Ramsay, Minister Lance, and other distinguished guests, we thank you and appreciate the opportunity you have taken to be with us here today. I am blessed to regularly have the opportunity to see the amazing things our staff and students do in our schools every day. You can walk into any of our schools and see the unique ways they celebrate their communities, people, and cultures. Today, I am thrilled that you will have the opportunity to see this firsthand at Mount Stewart Consolidated. Building a strong connection to its community, positively lifting up its students, staff, and visitors, and showing pride in all the families that make up this school is what they aim to do. Principal Mary McKendrick and her staff took great pride in hosting this event, as we know that it is not every day that you get to welcome the Prime Minister, Premier, and their colleagues into our schools. We thank you so much, Mount Stewart, for all the work you did to make this special today. Each of you being here truly demonstrates your commitment to education, your support for our schools, and most importantly for our youngest Islanders and Canadians. As an educator, I can share that our goal is always to ensure that our students have every opportunity to succeed. When governments, communities, and schools work hand in hand to invest in our youth, we are investing in the future of our province and our country. These students are our future, so let us continue to collectively do everything we can to set them up for success. On behalf of our staff, students, and families, thank you for the work you do in supporting our goal to ensure that our schools are places for students to successfully learn and have positive connections. I'd now like to invite Minister MacAulay to come forward and share remarks.
Thank you very much, Tracy. I'm certainly pleased to be here with my boss, Premier King, Chief Gould.
Prime Minister Francis is just back there, you know that.
My colleague Heath MacDonald, and Minister Ramsay, Minister Lance, and all the students in the Mount Stewart Consolidated School. It's certainly a great privilege to be here. And of course, the community advocates and volunteers who certainly make what we're about to do today, or announce the continuation of a program we have, which the Prime Minister will announce. But it takes community advocates to make these things happen, and it takes communities to raise children. But I'd just like to recognize one person, Shirley Aflack, right here. Shirley Aflack has 92 years old. She delivers fruitcakes from here to Florida. And I know I'm supposed to hurry up because Shirley has got 8 cakes to deliver this afternoon, so I have to keep on the move. Shirley, we appreciate your work at the school, at your community, and at your church. You're a major asset. And I can tell you, over the course of my career, this is one of the more important and joyful and touching moments of my life. My wife, Frances, who they all talk about here, was a teacher, and she fully understands what it's like when you have children in the classroom that do not have enough to eat. And that's why this is a very touching moment for me. School programs like Mount Stewart make a real big difference, and people like Shirley and many other people make a big difference, not just for the kids, but for their parents. Again, a pleasure to be here. My privilege to introduce to you the Prime Minister of Canada, my good friend, the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Lawrence, for those kind words. Thank you, Francis, for, as always, making sure he stays on top of things. Thank you, Dennis, for being here. This, as Tracy said, is another great example of what happens when different orders of governments roll up their sleeves and work together. How we manage to deliver things that matter for Canadians, for people across the island, is at the heart of what governments need to be doing, and being able to do it with as a strong and thoughtful a partner as Dennis is just a tremendous pleasure. I'm also here not just with Minister MacAulay, but with Minister Jenna Sudds from Ottawa, who will be sharing our perspective on the school foods. I want to thank Principal Mary Kendrick. Thank you for welcoming us to this beautiful school. Thank you to Heath and Sean and our great new Prince Edward Island team. But like Lawrence, I need to shout out to Nanny Shirley. It is such a privilege to meet you, to hear about just the extraordinary level of involvement, of volunteerism, of leadership you've shown on filling young bellies, on contributing to the school community, contributing to the community as a whole. You are truly an example for all of us to aspire to, of having a positive impact on the world. Thank you for being part of this today. I also want to shout out the kids who are with us. In so many schools, a school food program is not just an opportunity to make sure that they and their friends and class colleagues are being able to concentrate, but also it's an opportunity for leadership. Young people are involved in distributing and preparing, in getting involved in supporting that school community, and that's something that is as important part of learning as everything else is. So great to have you guys here with us today. Now, this is a challenging time in the world, and I know families are squeezed in a whole bunch of ways, which is why we need to look for reasons to be optimistic about the present and the future. And certainly with inflation finally coming down to pre-pandemic levels, with interest rates coming down as well, there's a lot to feel optimistic about it, particularly when we look at the overall situation of our economy, which is predicted to grow faster than most of our peers, including faster than the United States next year, where we have the lowest deficit in the G7. We're drawing in foreign direct investment to create jobs and opportunities in Canada at a faster rate than most of our other peer countries. So there's lots of big reasons to be positive about the economy, but at the same time, Canadians are squeezed. People are hurting. People need direct help, and that's why we've been stepping up as a government on many, many different initiatives that are making a huge difference in the cost of living for Canadian families. Here in P.E.I, childcare has come down to $10 a day. We've created spaces. This was through great leadership and partnership with the government of Prince Edward Island to actually deliver childcare in a way that's supporting Canadians here in P.E.I, but right across the country as well. We've moved forward on a dental program that has already helped 1 million people, most of them seniors, being able to access dental care, some for the first time in years. And it's making a huge difference both on the cost of living and on opportunities to stay healthy. We've made investments on a range of things, including most recently announcing that there's going to be a significant tax holiday over the next 2 months as people won't have to pay HST. That's 15% off here on Prince Edward Island. That's going to make a real difference on groceries, on restaurants, on toys, on kids' clothes, on so many of the things that as families we know add up really, really quickly. So we're going to continue to step up, and today we're stepping up once again to announce that we reached an agreement on the school food program with Prince Edward Island. We announced $1 billion for a national school food program, which is all about putting that money directly in school food programs, in school districts and schools right across the country. And the agreement that we've come to with Prince Edward Island is focused on delivering thousands more nutritious meals to kids across the island over the coming years. It's about $7 million over the next 3 years. That means more snacks, more breakfasts, more supports for more kids across the island. And that makes a huge difference because we know that starting school day with a full belly, being able to concentrate is so important, not just now, but for years to come. I saw it personally when I was a teacher, what happens when kids don't have full bellies. This is something that is really going to make a difference for them. But it also makes a difference for parents. We all know how rushed we are in getting them out the door in the morning, throwing together a nutritious breakfast, giving them a lunch that's going to sustain them for the day. These are some things that sometimes we can't quite get to. Sometimes the box of granola bars is empty when you reach to the fridge. Sometimes you're jammed and you're not able to actually get everything together you want to. This is about knowing that there will be good, nutritious food that they can get if they need it, as they need it at school. And for those who need it more, it'll be there every day. This is about taking an extra pressure off parents, both in time in the mornings, but also save a family of 4 about $800 on groceries. These are things that really matter, that we can step up on and deliver for people. Le programme d'alimentation des écoles à travers le pays va livrer de la nourriture scolaire à 400 000 enfants de plus à travers le pays. C'est des investissements concrets qui vont livrer dans les écoles pour les parents et surtout pour les jeunes. The school food program adds 2 other programs we've stepped up on, increasing the Canada Child Benefit that's now up to about $7,700 per child as a maximum every year. This is doing a huge amount in lifting kids out of poverty and supporting the families who need it most with the Canada Child Benefit. We're moving forward with the Canada Carbon Rebate, which actually takes money from the price on pollution and puts more money back in the pockets of middle-class families right across the country. We're continuing to step up on more and more people accessing dental care. We're moving forward on pharmacare. We're moving forward with this 2-month tax break that Canadians are going to feel, particularly here in Atlantic Canada, where it's 15% off with the HST combined. That's going to make a big difference at a time where families are squeezed, and even the working Canadians rebate is going to deliver for hardworking folks who have gotten us through the pandemic, who got us through the inflation crisis, but need that little extra help as they're supporting their families and their communities. There's lots to do, and we've been there to step up, which makes it so difficult to understand why Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party, that are always talking about how broken Canada is, always talking about how Canadians are struggling and how people need help, has stood in the House and voted against and tried to block every single thing that I just talked about as helping Canadians. He talks a good game about Canadians needing help, but he turns his back on them. He voted against dental care and tried to block it. He voted against child care investments. He voted against support for the school food program. He voted against dental care. He voted against the Canada Child Rebate, the Canada Child Benefit. He wants to take away the Canada Carbon Rebate. Everything that is there to invest and supporting Canadians, he actually stands against. So when he's talking about the fact that Canadians are struggling, he's doing it for his own interests, not for theirs. He consistently stands against every measure we're putting forward to help Canadians while trying to make them angrier and angrier about not getting the help they need that he himself is blocking. That's not what Canada needs. That's not what we're here delivering today. We're going to be there to invest in Canadians. We're going to be there to create good jobs. We're going to be there to support our kids and to support Canadians of all ages, as we get through these challenging times and build the kind of economy, the kind of future that Canadians truly deserve. This is what we're doing here today. This is why I'm so happy to turn over to my friend and yours, the Premier of Prince Edward Island, Dennis King. Dennis.
Well done. Well, thank you very much, Prime Minister. What an exciting day. I want to say first, Shirley, thank you for all of your amazing work. She pointed out that I'm not in the legislature today and how disappointed she is that I'm not there, but I can't share that sentiment. I'm very happy not to be there and to be here with you. I'm sorry I'm not entertaining you on the TV, but maybe we can do a little bit here. Shirley is also the mother of Paul, who's one of the custodians here. He's way in the back, smiling wonderfully today, proud of how beautiful the school looks, of course, but I've played 20 years of baseball against Paul. I never saw that smile once. He was very nasty to play against and very good player, and they beat us all the time. And I see my friend Chief Gould is in behind here as well, and another tremendous competitor on the ball field. And I do want to take the opportunity here to say, first of all, on behalf of all Islanders, to Chief Gould, what you have done with Abbotsford First Nation during your time in leadership has been inspiring. It has been amazing. I'm happy to have been a partner with you, and I look forward to working even more with you to continue to grow and prosper. You're setting the bar for the region, and I want to continue to help you do that work. So thank you very much. Prime Minister Trudeau, Minister MacAulay, Minister Sudds, Ministers Ramsay, Lance, Chief Gould, Heath MacDonald I saw here, Sean and Bobby, I don't know if they're here, but I do a lot of work with them as well. Just really, really happy to see everybody here, the council members from Abbotsford, the staff and students at Mount Stewart Consolidated. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. This has been an impressive day. Really, really nice to come down to Mount Stewart. This is normally the crowd Lawrence MacAulay gets at all his events in Cardigan, but I'm happy to swim in that wake a little bit today. But I just wanted to say that Prince Edward Island has long been a leader in the school food lunch program. Our Pay What You Can lunch program has not only become a source of pride here on the island, but I do believe it's the envy of many in the country. It's a model that ensures that no children go hungry. Every student has access to nutritious meals they need to succeed in school and in life and beyond. Our program served 850,000 meals to students this year, and we're on track to serve 1 million meals in the coming year. It's the most comprehensive program of its kind in Canada. It's universal, it's provincial in scope, and it's accessible to more than 22,000 children enrolled in our public schools each and every day, and I'm very, very proud of that. I'm thrilled. Thank you, Barb. Thank you. I'm very thrilled to have the Prime Minister and his colleagues here today, and to be with my colleagues and all of you to announce that with the federal support that we're receiving today over the life of this program, we will be expanding the reach of this incredible program even further. This infusion of federal funding will allow us to establish new food hubs across the province, which will make meals more accessible and affordable for island families. We'll expand the program to reach more students, yet maintain its universal access and its pay what you can model. It will allow us to expand our breakfast programs, reaching more students so they arrive at school not on an empty stomach and with every opportunity to learn and to succeed. And it will allow us to expand our snack program, ensuring our students are fueled throughout the day, and all of those wonderful attributes that we need for our students to be successful. What I think is sometimes lost in this agreement and understanding is that the procurement of local food and local communities prepared by local individuals and businesses not only provides that fresh, healthy meals, but it supports island farmers, it spurs economic activity, it creates jobs in our communities, many of which would be maybe not operating because of the seasonal nature of our tourism in communities such as Mount Stewart and Georgetown and Tignish and other places across the province. So this is not just about feeding our kids and making sure they have a good start. This is about growing our economy and expanding our economy throughout our province in our communities, urban and rural. Everyone knows that access to healthy, nutritious food is vital to learning and growth. When our students are well fed, they can focus on their studies, they can participate fully in class, they can build brighter futures for themselves and become the citizens that we need them to be to make sure our province and world continues to thrive. As I said, this is about equity, it's about opportunity, it's about ensuring that every child has a fair chance to thrive. with the federal government investing $7 million, matching the $15 million that we'll put in over the course of that time, we think this is the envy of the country, as I say, and it will help students grow, and it will generate the next leaders of our province. All of you who are with us today, you will have a great opportunity to go on and do wonderful things. I want you to see the world and explore the world, but I want you to know that the life you can have, the jobs that you need, will be here for you in Prince Edward Island, thanks to the partnerships that we've developed over the years with our federal government. My colleagues, Minister Lance and Ramsay, are here. First of all, I want to say to Barb, thank you for your leadership in negotiating this deal with the federal government. I know how dedicated you were to helping to solve food insecurity, ensuring that islanders have the support they need to have productive lives. And Minister Lance, of course, very new to this role in education, but has been around the cabinet table for a couple of years now. I want to thank him for his commitment. And I've given him a broad mandate to go and to build new schools and to make sure the schools don't just have bricks and mortar, but they have all of the components they need for it to be successful. And I know you'll do a good job of that, just like you did in helping solve our housing challenge. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge a couple of other people who have really made this work. When we went to Ottawa in 2019, I met with then Minister of Health, Jeanette Petitpas-Taylor. I said we were going to stand up a school lunch program in P.E.I. I don't think she believed we could do it. I went down to see Lawrence MacAulay, which every premier has to do. You have to go down and see Lawrence MacAulay if you want to get anything done. And I said, Lawrence, we're going to do this. And Lawrence, as he always said, you get it stood up and I'll find a way to get some money into it. And Lawrence, again, is following through on that commitment today. So thank you very much. But we've set up the School Food Lunch Incorporated. It's a not-for-profit led by Board Chair Austin Clements and our Executive Director, Caitlin McLean. They have been in their roles since the infancy of this program. These are the ones that have really helped stand up this program. There have been bumps in the road, as there always is, but they've remained steadfast in the vision to deliver island-wide, pay-what-you-can, universally acceptable, hot school, healthy lunch programs in every school in Prince Edward Island. They did it, and I want to thank them very much for that hard work. We wouldn't have been able to do it without you. I also want to acknowledge Deputy Minister Teresa Henneberry from the Department of Social Development and Seniors. She has just been, for decades, has been a behind-the-scenes public servant who's done amazing things. She has been one of the champions of this program and many others. She was one of our leaders through our COVID situation when she was I've moved her around from a bunch of things. She's been trying to retire for a number of years, Prime Minister, but I won't let her go. And she's just been invaluable. So, Teresa, your vision, your leadership, your determination, and your kindness has brought this expansion to fruition. I want to thank you for your dedication. I know you're going to move on to the next chapter of your life. I don't want to let you go, but it's the best thing for you to do it. And I just want to say in front of everyone, thank you very much. And just finally, before I turn it over to Minister Sudds, I want to say to the students, to the staff here at Mount Stewart, this school looks amazing. This is the heartbeat of our community, and community small in Prince Edward Island like this. This is a great spot to get a good education, to build good friendships, and to build all the qualities you need to be good citizens. So to all of your teachers who work so hard, to all of you who work so hard, thank you very much for being here and for being part of this. This is a day I'll never forget. This is a program I'm most proud of, and I think it's going to pay dividends for years to come for Island students and families. So with that, I'll turn it over to Minister Sudds and say again to the Prime Minister, thank you very much for your friendship and your kindness and your dedication to P.E.I. We've done great things together, and let's keep doing it.
Good morning. Bon matin, tout le monde. What an exciting day today is. I am so thrilled to be here as we celebrate a great partnership with P.E.I. coming on to our National School Food Program. It's just an exciting day, and I want to say there's so many folks to thank, right? But I think we should say thanks to these kiddos who are doing a fabulous job joining us here this morning. And we're here because of you. We're here because we want to make sure that you're set up for success and that you have access to school food here at Prince Street, or at Prince Street, where I was recently, but also, of course, at Mount Stewart and all the schools across the island and, frankly, across the country. So this is the fourth province that we have now made an agreement with in rolling forward the National School Food Program, and that's happened in just 4 short months. And I have to tell you, I've said it before, and I'll say it 1,000 times, that Pierre Poilievre will take every opportunity to claim that this is bureaucracy. However, I have to tell you, feeding a 1,500 kids lunch here in P.E.I. or 800 kids breakfast and snacks this school year is not bureaucracy, folks. This is us delivering for the kids and the families here on the island. Serving an additional 400,000 meals this school year, that is us delivering. Families in P.E.I. saving $4,100 on early learning and childcare, that is us delivering. 1 million Canadians who have been able to receive dental care, that is us delivering. That is what support looks like from your federal government. It is not the bureaucracy that Pierre Poilievre would like to claim it is. Aujourd'hui, nous continuons à trouver des moyens de répondre aux besoins des Canadiens. We've now signed 4 national school food deals, and we've signed them with a provincial NDP government, a provincial Liberal government, and a provincial Conservative government. Progressive, excuse me.
Big difference.
Big difference, right? But we're doing this with partners because they all share the vision that this is a good program for children now and for years to come. This is a $1 billion commitment to the children across this country, and it's an investment that will impact kids today and for decades to come. Les choses sont difficiles et nous savons qu'il y a encore du travail à faire. We're working hard to deliver measures that help make life more affordable for Canadian families, whether that's the National School Food Program, $10 a day childcare, or the Canada Child Benefit. Also, I have to mention our new tax break for families, the HST or GST pause. Lots of families will benefit from these measures each and every day, saving hundreds and even thousands of dollars each and every year. We will continue to deliver for families here on the island and across the country, helping to put money back into their pockets so that they can support their families, their kids. So with that, with these 4 now provinces that have signed on to the National School Food Program, we so far will be able to feed 184,000 more children this school year. School food that will help kids focus on being kids, help them focus on learning and growing and achieving their dreams. So we're looking forward to working with all other provinces and territories so that we can see more food being able to be served in schools across the country, like here at Mount Stewart and every school across this province. So again, kids can focus on being kids. Thank you very much, and it's now my pleasure to introduce Minister Barb Ramsay. Pleasure.
Thank you. Welcome, Prime Minister to Prince Edward Island, and my colleagues here today. Premier King, thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here with you today for this wonderful announcement. I am so proud of our existing school food program, proud that we are providing healthy lunches to children across Prince Edward Island, Proud that our government has been able to support the tremendous growth in this program since the very beginning, and proud of the strong partnership that we have with P.E.I. School Food. I can assure you that this partnership has contributed to the success of this program. We are also very pleased to partner with the federal government to enhance our existing comprehensive and universal school food program. This funding will also allow us to provide additional support to our breakfast and snack programs. School food does more than just ensure that no child goes to class hungry. It ensures that children are nourished and they can focus, participate, and thrive in the classroom and beyond. This announcement is an investment to our future. These programs ease financial pressures on families. We know there are families on Prince Edward Island who are struggling to make ends meet. For a parent to be able to send their child to school knowing they will have access to a healthy meal, receives a significant burden and provides peace of mind. I also would like to mention that we do our summer food program where we will feed children 7 days a week. Meals are delivered. We've spent $1 million this summer on that program alone. So we feed our children all year long, and we're very happy to have your participation in the school program. So thank you very much. Our school program here on Prince Edward Island is meeting a need in all schools across the province, and we appreciate the federal government's investment. This additional funding is very welcomed and will go a long way in allowing us to make our school food program even stronger. So thank you again to the federal government for their interest in supporting island children. And now it is my pleasure to welcome Caitlin McLean, Executive Director of P.E.I. Food School Program.
Good morning. Good morning, Prime Minister Trudeau, Premier King, Chief Gould, honorable ministers. A special shout out to the school food program team, as well as Mount Stewart school students, staff, and community. My name is Caitlin McLean, and I'm the Executive Director of the P.E.I. School Food Program. It is a pleasure to be here today on behalf of the P.E.I. School Food Program, a nonprofit organization responsible for the successful development and delivery of the provincial school lunch program that is available to all island students in public schools across Prince Edward Island through a pay-what-you-can model. P.E.I. is proud to have pioneered the first province-wide school lunch program in the country, and P.E.I. School Food Program has proven to be an essential service for island families and communities. The P.E.I. School Food Program welcomes today's announcement and the federal investment in school food programming in the province. We recognize the importance of support at both the federal and provincial levels to ensure success and sustainability of this vital program for island students. This additional funding from the federal government will allow P.E.I. School Food Program to meet its current meal volume and participation demands, and will support the continued growth of the program to provide island students with the nourishment they need for academic success. As we move forward, P.E.I. School Food Program is eager to work with the Government of Prince Edward Island to finalize a long-term agreement that will secure the future of this program and allow us to plan for continued expansion and success. We are excited about the opportunities this federal investment brings, and we look forward to finalizing this critical partnership with the provincial government, ensuring that all island students have access to a nutritious and affordable lunch option every school day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We'll now start the for questions with reporters. One question, one follow-up.
Actually, just before we get started, guys, you've been standing here really patiently. This is the last stretch of it. Shake out your left leg a bit. Shake out your left leg. Good. Shake out your right leg. All right. Tippy toes up and down. Tippy toes up and down a couple of times. Okay. Shake out your arms. Good. Okay. Okay. Last stretch. This is it. All right. Now we get to questions. Sorry. I'm a teacher. I come back every now and then.
Hi. If you can respond in English and French. Will you propose new legislation that expands $250 check eligibility to include seniors and people with disabilities? And can you also explain to Canadians why people who did not work last year will not qualify for the rebate check?
Thank you very much for the question. I think people, as you heard us today and as we've been talking about for many months now, we've put in place a lot of different programs to help Canadians who are struggling right now. We've delivered dental care to over 1 million people, most of them seniors. We've increased OAS for seniors over 75. We continue to deliver checks to all seniors through OAS, through various pension systems. We're investing in them through New Horizons, through other programs. And we're showing up for families as well, expanding childcare spaces, investing massively to get $10 a day childcare for people, delivering a Canada Child benefit, investing in lots of different ways to support people who've been facing challenging times these past years. But in my travels across the country and conversations with people, I regularly meet a 26-year-old grocery worker or a 32-year-old school teacher with no kids, or someone in their 40s who's working in a factory, or a 50-year-old plumber whose kids have all grown, who says, okay, but we're having troubles too. We're squeezed. Even though we're working hard, we're squeezed, and the federal government isn't showing up for us. Doesn't even see us, it looks like. So we realized that everyone needs a little extra support right now, and specifically those folks who've been working really hard over the past years that got us through the pandemic, that our economy bounced back faster than just about any other economy in the world, that saw us through a global inflation crisis that was pushing hard on everyone. And we wanted to be there to recognize and invest in working Canadians with a $250 check that'll be rolling out in April. Now, we're going to continue to work on being there for seniors as we have, as we will continue to. We're looking at different ways of helping all sorts of different people. But seeing hardworking Canadians who get up, go to work every day, and make our economy and our communities successful, and recognizing them specifically that might not be benefiting from other programs, and showing that we see them, that's what this is all about. So to see the NDP, which was supposedly the party of workers, turn its back on hardworking Canadians and say, no, we shouldn't be delivering this check unless we expand it massively, is not recognizing working Canadians for the challenges they're facing. To see Pierre Poilievre, who's pretending to care about workers and care about affordability, not just stand against this working Canadians benefit, but actually get up in the House last night and vote against a tax holiday for all Canadians over the next 2 months. That's putting politics and his own interests ahead of what Canadians actually need. So yeah, we're focused on specifically helping hardworking Canadians who worked last year, who need some extra support, and we're going to continue to working with different parties to make sure that we're getting this to people who actually really need it. La décision qu'on a prise de reconnaître les travailleurs canadiens et d'être là pour les aider a été prise de façon très délibérée. On est en train de livrer énormément d'aide déjà pour nos aînés, que ce soit avec les soins dentaires, que ce soit avec l'augmentation de la pension de vieillesse, que ce soit avec le supplément de revenu garanti, que ce soit avec des investissements qu'on fait régulièrement pour les aînés, et on est toujours en train de regarder ce qu'on peut faire d'autre pour les aînés, particulièrement les aînés vulnérables. Alors oui, on va être là pour aider encore plus les aînés. Et les jeunes familles, on livre l'allocation canadienne aux enfants. On livre de l'aide avec plus de places en garderie à 10 $ par jour à travers le pays. C'est des bénéfices directs que les gens savent que le gouvernement est là pour eux. Mais j'ai rencontré à travers le pays des gens, des travailleurs, de 26 ans qui travaillaient dans une épicerie, un professeur dans sa trentaine qui n'a pas d'enfant, Un plombier de 50 ans à qui ses enfants sont déjà grands et ne reçoit plus rien pour eux. Et ils disent, le gouvernement n'a rien pour nous, n'est pas là en train de reconnaître que nous avons fait le travail pour passer à travers la pandémie en tant qu'économie. On a été là pour passer à travers la crise d'inflation mondiale. Est-ce que le gouvernement reconnaît que nous aussi, on a besoin d'un petit break? Et c'est exactement ce qu'on est en train de faire. Un chèque de 250 $ pour tous ceux qui ont fait moins que 150 000 $ par année l'année passée et qui ont travaillé l'année passée. C'est un chèque pour reconnaître que les travailleurs font la force de notre pays et ils en arrachent. Que le NPD ait tourné le dos sur les travailleurs, c'est incompréhensible parce que c'était supposément, il y a un moment donné, le Parti des travailleurs, mais là, non. Ils disent non aux travailleurs. Le Bloc tourne le dos sur les travailleurs québécois. Les conservateurs, Pierre Poilievre, qui prétend, fait semblant d'être là pour les travailleurs, continue de bloquer chaque initiative qu'on met de l'avant, comme celle-ci. Alors nous, on va continuer d'aller de l'avant et faire tout ce qu'on peut pour livrer de l'aide directement à tous les travailleurs à travers le pays. Mais dans un Parlement minoritaire, on a besoin de l'appui d'un autre parti. On espère qu'ils ne vont pas continuer de tourner le dos sur les travailleurs au Canada.
Also,
over the past number of years, had incredible opportunities to work with Premier King, with Dennis, to deliver for people here in P.E.I., whether it was significant investments by the federal government in P.E.I.'s leading childcare system, whether it's today with school foods, whether it's on delivering dental care to islanders in a way that has had greater uptake than ever before. We do things together to take the pressure off of islanders. And I know, and I had a great conversation with him about the fact that, yes, this 15% tax break on groceries, on all groceries, including prepared foods and pizzas, on restaurant meals, on takeout, on fast food even, on toys, on kids' clothes, beer and wine. These are things that are going to make a real difference for Canadians at a time of the year when people are squeezed. So I'm glad to be able to do this together with him, and we're going to keep doing these sorts of things. Yeah, Dennis, did you want to add something on this one?
I guess, yeah, thank you. Hi, Laura. I guess the only thing that I would say, the Prime Minister, I had a great conversation this morning about a number of issues that are important to Prince Edward Island and Canada. We talked about the tax holiday, the tax relief that the federal government has offered. I told them that Prince Edward Island would willingly participate in that going forward. Anything that we can do to build on all of the initiatives we've taken as a government to help reduce the cost of living for islanders, that we would do. I did express to the Prime Minister that I wish we would have had a little more lead time and consultation through that process. I would have thrown a few more things on the table, maybe, that to exempt. There's always more, but I think quite honestly that throughout the fiscal year, we've noticed over the course of time that things pop up that make you have to alter where you're at from your financial position. So we'll have some issues that we'll need to deal with in the final quarter of the year that I feel confident that we can deal with. But I did also put the Prime Minister and Minister MacAulay on notice that, not unlike the past, the government of Prince Edward Island may have a project or two we want to put forward that might receive some special attention along the way. They didn't give me any guarantees on that, but knowing our history, we have done very well. And Minister MacAulay did agree when I pointed out that in the last month, we've had two $50 million announcements in Prince Edward Island jointly with the federal government. So we have an important relationship that we'll continue to work on. But again, anything we can do to help reduce the cost of living for islanders at a time when it's been difficult for so many, we're happy to do. We've done that at record levels during my time, and we'll continue to do that.
Next question.
Hi, Mr. Prime Minister. So I was just wondering, how challenging is it for you to deal with the incoming U.S. administration when so many in Canada, including the premiers, are expecting the Conservative federal government to form next year, to form government next year? And many of Trump's closest advisors are openly saying that they want you out and they want Mr. Poilievre in.
Well, first of all, Canadians get to decide who forms the next government, and despite what Conservatives may be hoping for, there's a lot of Canadians scratching their heads at some of the decisions Pierre Poilievre has been making. The fact that he's standing against the school food program, the fact that he did everything he possibly could to block the dental care program. He stands against the child care agreements that we've signed with great progressive conservative provinces like Prince Edward Island that have saved families thousands of dollars over the past years and will continue to. He voted against a 15% tax break on all groceries, on restaurants, on clothes for kids, on toys. He loves to talk about how Canadians are struggling, but he actually actively blocks everything that is designed to help them and support them, get them through it. Because he doesn't want Canadians to feel better about this country. He wants them to feel worse because he figures that's the only way maybe he gets elected. Well, a politician putting his own interests ahead of the interests of Canadians is not what Canadians want to see. And in regards to our working relationship with President Trump, President-elect Trump, we were able to protect great jobs in Canada by working with President Trump on renegotiating NAFTA in ways that secured our economy for decades to come. We rolled up our sleeves, we created growth across both sides of the border, continue to work constructively and responsibly for the win-win that is the Canada-US relationship. And I look forward to having lots of great conversations with President-elect Trump as we move forward on standing up for good jobs on both sides of the border. Je trouve ça étonnant de voir à quel point les conservateurs au fédéral, et Pierre Poilievre spécifiquement, est en train de mettre de la petite politique avant les intérêts des Canadiens. Il est en train de s'opposer à plus de nourriture scolaire dans nos écoles à travers le pays. Il s'oppose au plan dentaire qui a aidé énormément d'aînés. Il s'oppose à plus de places en garderie et des réductions des frais à travers le pays jusqu'à 10 $ par jour. Il s'oppose aux investissements qu'on est en train de faire pour de l'insuline gratuite. Il s'oppose à notre congé de taxes pour les prochains 2 mois qui va aider les Canadiens avec le coût de l'épicerie, de toute l'épicerie, les restaurants, des vêtements pour les enfants, des jouets. Il dit qu'il veut être là pour les Canadiens, mais la réalité, il veut que les Canadiens soient de plus en plus fâchés, de moins en moins de bonne humeur, parce qu'il pense que c'est la seule façon, il a probablement raison, c'est seulement si les gens sont en furie et croient vraiment que le Canada est brisé, qu'il y a même une chance de se faire élire. Mais le Canada n'est pas brisé, et les Canadiens sont là, les uns pour les autres, pour travailler malgré tout ce que Pierre Poilievre est en train de faire pour nuire aux Canadiens. Par rapport au président Trump, je vais continuer d'avoir de bonnes conversations avec lui. On va continuer de démontrer que la croissance économique des deux côtés de la frontière, ça se fait ensemble et qu'on peut créer de bons emplois comme on l'a fait pour nos deux pays en renégociant avec grand succès l'accord de l'ALENA.
Following up.
I was wondering, with regards to this, everything that's happening in the world right now, how concerning is it that Mr. Poilievre still doesn't have his security clearance?
This is something that is entirely inexplicable to the vast majority of Canadians. At a time where we're seeing huge geopolitical challenges, the rise of authoritarian countries directly trying to undermine Canada and our democracy, Pierre Poilievre refuses to take the top secret briefings that our intelligence services want to give him so he can protect his party and he can protect Canadians. He will not get the necessary security clearances to keep Canadians safe. Why? Because he puts his own personal interests and political advantages ahead of the well-being of Canadians. So every time Pierre Poilievre talks about safety, security, keeping Canadians safe, he's demonstrating he doesn't actually care about that because he will not get the security clearance and briefings that every other leader in the House of Commons has. We offered and gave, and this was unprecedented, that as a government we said, you know what? All party leaders should have the information and the tools necessary to keep their parties and keep Canadians safe and to know the facts of the threats that Canada is under. And the leader of the Bloc, and the leader of the NDP, and the leader of the Green Party all stepped up, did the responsible thing, and are contributing in our public debates on public safety and security with knowledge of what those real threats are. And Pierre Poilievre would rather cover his ears and go la 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 and not listen to our security agencies when it comes to keeping Canadians safe. That's not leadership. It's not responsible leadership. It's inexplicable.
Prochaine question.
Pouvez-vous répondre juste en français à celle-ci d'abord,
Oui,
s'il vous plaît?
avec plaisir. C'est complètement incompréhensible pour les Canadiens de voir que le chef de l'opposition, qui prétend vouloir devenir premier ministre, refuse d'accepter les briefages top secrets que nos agences de sécurité veulent lui offrir. Il refuse d'obtenir sa cote de sécurité pour qu'il puisse être mis à l'affût de toutes les menaces auxquelles notre démocratie, notre pays, nos concitoyens font face. Il préfère l'ignorance pour pouvoir continuer de jouer des jeux politiques plutôt que de prendre au sérieux les menaces auxquelles font face les Canadiens. Et je sais que les conservateurs, toujours dans nos systèmes politiques, ont la réputation d'être présents pour la sécurité, d'être là pour protéger les gens. Et je peux vous dire, il y a énormément de conservateurs qui sont complètement perplexes au fait que sur un enjeu aussi grave que la sécurité nationale, le chef conservateur refuse d'accepter les briefings nécessaires pour comprendre les vraies menaces à notre pays. Il préfère jouer à de la petite politique et des jeux politiques. Et c'est le seul, d'ailleurs. Le chef du Bloc québécois, le chef du Parti néo-démocrate, la chef du Parti vert ont tous accepté d'obtenir leur code de sécurité et continuent de débattre et parler publiquement de notre sécurité nationale, sachant les réalités là-dessus, mais que le chef conservateur continue de choisir l'ignorance en matière de sécurité nationale, ça démontre qu'il n'est aucunement sérieux sur ses responsabilités en tant que leader.
Monsieur le Premier ministre, bonjour. Ma première question pour vous, depuis l'annonce de M. Donald Trump concernant les tarifs douaniers, beaucoup de provinces sont inquiets. À l'Île-du-Prince-Édouard, cette semaine, le Premier ministre a expliqué que 81% des échanges commerciaux avec les États-Unis, enfin ça correspondait à 81%, 25% du GDP. Comment vous pouvez rassurer le Premier ministre King ainsi que les autres Premiers ministres que ces 25% n'arriveront pas?
Mais, tout d'abord, il faut se dire que M. Trump, quand il fait des annonces, il a l'intention de le faire. Et notre responsabilité, c'est de travailler de façon sérieuse pour démontrer que ces tarifs qu'il propose ne feront pas juste mal au Canada et à l'Île-du-Prince-Édouard parce qu'il le ferait, mais feront aussi très mal aux États-Unis, aux Américains qui ont élu M. Trump parce qu'il promettait de réduire les coûts de l'épicerie. Or, il veut ajouter des coûts de 25% sur les coûts de toutes les épiceries, toutes les denrées comme les pommes de terre de l'Île-du-Prince-Édouard et d'autres qui arrivent aux États-Unis, il y a quelque chose qui ne fonctionne pas là-dedans. Alors, notre approche, ça va être la même approche qu'on a prise il y a plusieurs années. On va travailler de façon sérieuse et responsable avec l'administration américaine. On va souligner à quel point de créer des différends entre nos pays, c'est pas bon pour les citoyens qui nous élisent des deux côtés du pays. Et on va se rassembler en équipe Canada pour que toutes les différentes provinces, tous les différents leaders syndicaux, les gens d'affaires, parlent avec une même voix, que nos deux pays prospèrent quand on travaille de façon constructive ensemble. C'est l'approche et j'ai bien hâte de continuer d'avoir de très bonnes conversations avec M. Trump là-dessus.
En anglais, s'il vous plaît.
One of the things that is really important to understand is that Donald Trump, when he makes statements like that, he plans on carrying them out. There's no question about it. Our responsibility is to point out that in this way, he would be actually not just harming Canadians who work so well with the United States, he'd actually be raising prices for American citizens as well and hurting American industry and businesses. But there are ways for us to work together to demonstrate, as we did years before, that we can do things together. We can create opportunities and growth and good jobs on both sides of the border by being the partners and allies we've been for decades. What it requires is, first of all, a Team Canada approach, which we put together well last time, where, we started putting together the Team Canada approach earlier this year, where premiers, where labor leaders, where business leaders all come together to demonstrate that things go best for the United States when things go well at the Canada-US border and things go well working together. So we're going to work together to meet some of the concerns and respond to some of the issues, but ultimately, it is through lots of constructive, real conversations with President Trump that I'm going to have that will keep us moving forward on the right track for all Canadians.
Ma deuxième question pour vous, Monsieur le Premier ministre. J'imagine que vous avez dû parler de ça avec le Premier ministre King. C'est un sujet qui touche beaucoup le ministre MacAulay. Le ferry, ça ne marche pas aujourd'hui. Aujourd'hui, il est toujours en panne. Je sais qu'on réclame depuis longtemps l'intervention du gouvernement du Canada pour assurer un deuxième traversier à l'île du Prince-Édouard. Et en même temps, on parle aussi du pont de la Confédération. Le Premier ministre King vous a envoyé notamment de multiples lettres pour demander à ce que le prix du pont baisse pour les insulaires. Est-ce que vous avez discuté de ça ensemble et on en est où dans ces dossiers-là, s'il vous plaît?
Oui, on a toujours de bonnes conversations et on a parlé justement des ferries et du pont. Par rapport aux ferries, on a des bonnes nouvelles que dès le début décembre, je pense autour du 7, la MV Confédération devrait être de retour en service et va pouvoir finir la saison avant Noël et que le nouveau ferry temporaire devrait arriver à temps pour le printemps. Les insulaires méritent d'avoir deux ferries fiables et le gouvernement fédéral va être là pour ça. On est aussi en train, bien sûr, de toujours parler du péage sur le pont et de comment on peut aider avec l'abordabilité. In regards to the ferries, we had a great conversation on both ferry and bridge tolls. I'm pleased to say that it looks like MV Confederation will be back in service around the 7th of December to carry out the end of the season. We are very hopeful that the Fjordus Fjord? Fjordafjord, yeah. The new ferry, or the one that will be coming over from Europe, will be in place in time for the opening of the spring season. Islanders deserve two reliable ferries, and that's what the federal government is committed to make sure that they get. In terms of affordability and bridge tolls, we're always in conversation with the Premier to see what can be done.
Merci.
Merci. What's the name of the ferry?
It's the Fanaford.
The Fanafjord. The Fanafjord. There we are. Here we go. We figure it out all together.
C'est ce qui m'a fait la conférence de presse.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Fantastic.
It's a great day.